up guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So in today's video we're going to take a look at a song called Up From The Skies by Jimi Hendrix. And this is off of his album As Bold As Love. This was requested and supported by Danny, so big thanks goes out to him. And in this lesson we're going to take a look at the main parts of the song, the verses, the middle part, and the solo is going to be on a separate video and it's going to be available on my Patreon page. So if you're interested, please join the page and you'll get access to this video and other videos as well as the tops and the backing tracks and all that good stuff. If you haven't had a chance to check out my course on Jimi Hendrix's style of playing, which is called Get Experienced, I will post the links in the description box down below as well. There is a ton of information on Jimi's style of playing. It's in 2 parts. Like I said, a lot of information, so if you're interested, check out the links in the description box down below. For this lesson, we're going to be in half-step down tuning on all the strings. And for the sound I was using the VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset right now. And also I was using the wah pedal because the whole song is, Jimi used the wah pedal. And I'm going to post also the link to the cover sort of playthrough of the entire song, which is going to be on my other channel. But the link is also going to be in the description box down below. So if you're interested, check it out. So that's it. Now I'm going to show you the picture of the preset, and while you are checking it out, I'm going to play you my low E string, which is half step down, E flat, so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, so we're going to break up this lesson into sections. We're going to start off right away with the verse because the song starts like that. But before we get into that, just want to mention one thing regarding tuning. So I think that Jimi was tuned to 432 Hertz standard tuning, so it's kind of in between the standard and half step down tuning. But for this lesson we're going to be using just half step down tuning, 440 on all the strings. So also during this song Jimi's using wah all the time, so it's on, but for the sake of this lesson I'm not going to be using it. I'm just going to show you in the beginning what it sounds like with the wah, and then I'm going to switch off so you can hear the notes better. So the first part, the verse with the wah, is going to go like this. Alright, so you get the idea of the sound, so rocking the wah constantly. And he's using the wah more for sort of like a filter to add these specific sounds to the guitar, to the tone, and so he's not like rocking all the time up and down. It's more of it's a gradual rocking, and also staying in the cutting off the treble a lot, so staying in the up position of the wah and just slightly opening it up when he's rocking the wah. So that's the tip I can give you regarding the wah. Now we're gonna get into the first verse. So what we have here is basically just in the beginning we play chords. We start off with the B9. So B9 looking like this, the second position, and also another thing regarding a rhythm, so we're going to be using 8th notes predominantly, and we have a swing feel, so it's not straight 8th notes, but it's a swing feel, so the first note is longer, second one is shorter. Like that, and we apply that to the chord, so. And also, as you can hear and as you can see, when I'm playing the chord, when I'm hitting with a down picking motion, I'm playing the chord. On the way up, it's more of over muted strings. So I'm pressing down on the chord, and then when I hit it on the upstroke, I'm lightly releasing the chord, so it's staying on the strings but not actually playing the chord. Like that. So when you put two things together, and of course there is some bum notes in there, because when you're switching from one chord to another, you know, you might have some open strings, and that's totally fine, but the wah takes care of that. And yeah, so that's basically it for the rhythm, for the picking hand. Now the chords, like I said, we start off with the B9 for one bar, and then the first 3 times we play, the second bar is going to be F7. So looking like this, because Jimmy was using the thumb around his the sixth on the 6th string, you know, the grip looks like that. So we play these structure-wise. It goes like this. So the first 3 times we play these, we have straight B9 going to F sharp 7. And sometimes, of course, Jimmy would vary a little bit the rhythm for the picking hand. So he might just play sometimes just a quarter note. So kind of let the chord ring out and then go into this kind of movement, the swing feel. So, you know, you can vary the rhythm also when playing this part. Now, we play these 2 bars for 3 times, like I said, and then what he does is he plays the B9 for the first half of the bar, and then on the 3rd beat we go into C9, and then the last chord is F sharp 7. We stay on it for the whole bar, so the song becomes like this. Alright, so now we are just adding simply C9, which is 1 fret up, same shape as the B9, moving up 1 fret, and each of the chords we play for 2 beats, so half a bar, and then the F sharp 7, we play it for the whole bar. Again, rhythmical variations here you can do as well. And we play this riff for 7 times. So the first verse consists of 3 times playing just B9 to F sharp 7, and then the rest of the verse 7 times we play B9, C9, F sharp 7. Alright, so that is the first verse, and then after that he goes straight into the second verse. Now the second verse follows exactly the same idea rhythmically, but now we are moving everything up. So if we had the B9 here, now we go to C sharp 9. So 1 whole step up. And exact same thing, so C9, D9, G sharp 7. And we play this riff for 8 times, and then he goes, in the end of the second verse, he goes back to the riff that we played during the first verse. So B9, C9, F sharp 7. Second time, and then last time, the third time, again, same thing. Then a quick slide, sorry, it's to the 4th fret, and then we go to the break. So that's pretty much it for the first 2 verses. And now we go into the break, which also consists of a couple of parts. So we're going to break it up into parts. First I'm going to play it through, and then we're going to break it down. So the first part goes like this. Alright, so here basically what we have is we have the C sharp kind of power chord. We stay on it for 2 bars, and then we have a passing chord just before we go to the 3rd bar. We have a C, C5, C power chord again going to B. And on the B chord again we stay for 2 bars, and in the end again we have the passing chord, the C chord, C chord, I'm sorry, going to the C sharp. So now the rhythmical aspect of this part goes like this. So basically just Jimmy's playing the chord, lets it ring out, and then he adds a couple of bass notes. So you can do it with a thumb on the same fret but on the low E string, and he's alternating with the low E with the chord or with just a single note, doesn't really matter. So, and then you can pick it a couple of times, you can pick it every quarter note, you can just hit it and let it ring out. So he varies this all the time. And then when we go to the B chord again we have the passing chord. So so he might hit the low E string and then play the chord and then move down to the B, or he would just let it ring out, and just use the C chord, go to the B chord. When we're in B, exact same thing kind of applies to this. So hit the chord, let it ring out. Again, play with the bass notes here a little bit, adding this kind of thing, and then again hitting the chord, then passing chord, the C, going to the C sharp, and basically we repeat it twice, so doing it 2 times, this part. And as you can see in the tabs there is a second ending, so the second ending just differs when we stay on B chord. Instead of hitting it and letting it ring out, we just pick the bass note or the chord 3 times, and then we have, so now C9, we just simply change the chord. So instead of power chord, now we play the 9 chord, dominant 9. And kind of same thing happens here. So C sharp, and there is a little bit more rhythmical kind of thing is happening. So Jimmy's, picking the chord more. And again, you can add different rhythms here, and also when you stay on the chord, you can include the bass note as well on the low E string. So, but it's more of a sort of like a chordal picking and picking the whole chord. Alright, so that's how it sounds about. So the last time when we hit the chord, the C sharp 9, we then have a few phrases going on. So let's break it up into phrases, and the first one goes like this. So here, as we have the C sharp 9 chord ring out for the whole bar, then for the next bar we start off the phrase on the off beat. So it's a 1 and we start playing. And don't forget, we are still in swing feel, so everything applies to the single notes as well. So this one, because it's starting on the off beat, it's a shorter note, so okay. So 4th fret on the A string, then we go to the D 2 4 2, and adding some vibrato. Then the next phrase goes like this. So here again, also starting on the off beat, we start off with the open A string, then we go to the 2nd fret, 4th fret 2 times, back to the 2nd fret, and then we have so slight bend on the D string 4th fret, then we play 2 4, 4 on the A, go into the D string again 2nd fret, adding some vibrato, and then the last note is going to be 4th fret on the D string. So one more time, the whole phrase. Okay, moving on, we have the next phrase which goes like this. So here we start off again also on the off beat, and we start off on the 2nd fret of the A string. We go 2 4, then open D string, then we have a slide on the D string into the 6th fret, and you pick G string on the same fret, 6, and then pick the D again, so it rings out like a double stop. And then in the end we have the quick bend, slide bend on the B string 5th fret, and cut off the phrase. So one more time, the whole thing slowly. Next phrase we have. So here we have bends going on the B string, and also it starts on the off beat, and we have 5 of these bends, actually 6. So the first 5 bends we play, they use the triplet fill quarter note. So it's, and then the last note you bend it up, bring it down, and add some vibrato. Alright, moving on to the next phrase goes like this. Alright, so this one is a little bit longer one. So it starts off with some muted strings, rhythmical playing. So quarter notes, and then we have 3/8 notes in swing fill. And then the phrase itself is, so it starts off on the offbeat as well. So 2 4 on the A string, then we have 2nd fret on D, slide into the 6th fret on the D string, again picking G, back to the D string on the same fret, little rest, and then we have so double stop here on the 2nd and 3rd strings, and then quickly sliding down from the 6th fret down to the 4th on the D, back to the 2nd fret, so like that. Then we have again muted strings. So muted strings, then we go 2 4 on the A string, muted strings, then 4 2 on the D, 4 2 on the A string. Like that, that's the first part of the phrase, and then we have, so it's 4th fret on the D and the G strings, quarter note, then we have on the same strings 2nd fret, double stop, then we go to the A string, 4th fret, 2 times on the D, 2nd fret, again double stop, on the 4th fret, D and the G strings, muted strings, and then we go into the chord. So one more time, this phrase starts off, goes like this. Alright, so let me play the whole phrase again, starting with the muted strings. It's going to go like this slowly. Alright, moving on, we have the ending of this middle part. So again, we're back to the chords. to the C sharp 9. So we stay on this for 2 bars, and as you can see, there is about the same kind of rhythmical figure that we do staying on this when we did on the previous part using the chord. So then we move up to the E7, this shape of the chord. And then we have this little movement. So E7 for 2 beats, then we pick it again playing with the bass note on the 7th fret of the low E string. And then we have just this movement. So it's basically E7, but using on the B string this note, kind of moving note. So E7, then it's, you can look at it as a 9, and then another variation of the dominant 7 chord, like that. So all the parts together, starting with the chord, slowly is going to go like this. And then in the end we have a slide out on the low E string. Alright, so that's the middle part. Now after the middle part we go right into the last verse. And the last verse is basically exactly the same thing as we did in the beginning of the first verse. So just playing the B9 and alternating it with the F sharp 7 chord without the C9 in between there. So that's pretty much it. We played for 6 times all this riff, and the last 2 times just as a variation, and you know, it's not necessarily, but Jimmy's playing it a couple of times. He varies instead of B9. Actually, he plays the B9 in the beginning, and on the 4th beat he's playing the B7, I'm sorry, flat 9. So this note instead of this note. So you can use it as well. So like that. And then back to the F sharp 7 chord. So just for the last couple of times he's using this variation of the chord. And then after that we go into the solo. Alright guys, so that was it for this lesson. I hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Also comment, share, subscribe if you are new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.